What drug did you take once and thought, nope, never again? I was a senior in high school when Hurricane Katrina hit. Our house got 6 feet of water, no fun. But one night my friends and I went to the gutted out house to smoke some marijuana out of a buddy's hookah. Buddy failed to inform us he had recently glued the bowl back together. Well, the crew lost composure. 2 people fell off the dock into the bayou, and everyone started panicking that they'd get hypothermia, not gonna happen during Louisiana summer. So people leave. I drive a group to our next spot. My Pontiac Sunfire is now a spaceship. My buddy riding shotgun started cackling, hysterically yelling about rattlesnakes in the road. We don't got those. And the 2 in the back were talking about magic or some shit. We couldn't make it to our destination due to freaking out, so went to hang out in a grocery store parking lot till we regained composure. 10 out of 10 would not smoke glue again. Salvia. It's a very short trip, but I felt so much physical discomfort, like my whole body was being shoved into a box, despite the fact that I was sitting in the grass with a group of friends. Apparently it's not an uncommon side effect of the drug. I felt like my body was made of sand and the air conditioner unit behind me was blowing me away piece by piece. One of the scariest experiences of my life. OxyContin, shit was too relaxing and didn't last long. I had knee surgery and they gave it to me for the pain. I took it for a week, and when I wasn't on it I really wanted more. After a week of it I never wanted to touch that shit again. For me. Meth. I did it once under the presumption that it was cocaine. It was not. I had to go to the hospital. I mean, I probably didn't have to, but at the time I had only smoked weed. I didn't know how to deal with the increased heart rate and paranoia. For my friend, diphenhydramine aka Benadryl, he is a really hardcore tripper and can handle inhuman amounts of psychedelic substances. But he said that the one drug he would never do again was Benadryl. He said that his experience had lots of spiders. Ambien. Woke up in my underwear on my neighbor's porch. I took one night, then took another and then another. I wasn't trying to abuse it, it just didn't put me to sleep. I trashed my house. I woke up at 11 the next day to my boss calling me. I was in the military at the time. He started chewing my ass and all I had to say was, I took Ambien last night, and he said, okay, get in when you can. He knew how that shit fucked people up. Muscle relaxants. Worst cramps I've ever had when the drug stops working, and you realize you have cramping muscles at the soles of your feet and between all your bones. Heroin. Too good. Knew it'd get its claws in me if I did it a second time. Some people say it's like a whole body orgasm. Is that true? I wouldn't say that. If a sneeze is 5% of an orgasm for a fleeting moment, heroin is 30 to 50% of one for a couple of hours. Meth. Did some once thinking it was coke, spent 2 days strung out and horny as hell. Never again. Sucks getting drugs mixed up. Was going to have a threesome in a hot tub once. I had coke, and one of the girls had ketamine. Anyway, I jumped out to grab drink from the kitchen, and thought I'd rip a fat line while I was in there. Obviously, I got things completely mixed up and did a Scarface-size line of ketamine. Eventually, they both came inside the house and found me naked and unconscious in the fetal position. Never tried ketamine before. And I'll never try it again. You know The Matrix, when they plug Neo in the first time. He gets covered in liquid metal and lets out that weird robotic scream. That scream is the last thing I remember, before my head caved in on itself. Benadryl. Took around 7.800 milligrams, like 25 or 30 pills, a while ago to trip. Not a good recreational drug. It's like how people who don't do drugs imagine acid to be like. I'd actually vividly see things in people that weren't there. I'd see people come in the room I was in and sit next to me on the couch, and I'd start having a conversation with them, only to blink and have them disappear. I'd get up and start filling up a cup of water, and bam, I'd be back on the couch, never having gotten up. I don't remember most of the night, but my friends said I was just in a complete different world. They had some funny stories from it, though apparently at one point I pulled my pants down and just said, "Ants in my pants." The 2 things I've taken from this thread is that salvia is the worst drug out there, and that realizing you want more of a drug is instantly the reason to never do it again. My dad gave me a Dilaudid he had left over from his hip surgery because I had a sore neck. I felt an almost overwhelming sense of euphoria. I knew I could never take another one. My quotes from my Dilaudid high. If I had a tail I would wag it. I'm happier than a pig in shit. I'm traveling on a rainbow. Dextromethorphan. I basically determined that I'm part of the minority that lacks the enzyme that metabolizes dextromethorphan, so I was high for 2 days. I saw future me live out every path my life could take from that point on. I became an ultra-wealthy philanthropist, died alone in an apartment with a dead-end job, lived a normal life. I saw the rise and fall of empires, was there for the discovery of agriculture, the wheel and fire, and I watched the heat death of the universe. Crazy shit. Zonex. Took a bar at a friend's house. All I remember was watching Game of Thrones at a friend's house. Then next thing I know I'm at my apartment, and it's a day later. Wasn't a bad experience for anything, it was just all right, and felt like a waste of time. Plenty of better drugs out there. That stuff is the devil. I used to like taking it before going to work. You blink an eye and your shift is over. That fake weed stuff that was around a lil while back. Thought I was going to die. So hot. My sister found me naked, passed out in the bathroom with my face against the bottom of the toilet. This really bothered me. I am not a gramophobe but rather germ aware. You mean spice? That shit is fucking crazy. I got spiked with some and thought there was a spider in my throat. Yeah, the spice. Gnarly shit. Not what Dune made it out to be. I did LSD twice a couple years ago. The first time was awesome. And the second time was also awesome, but since then I just don't want to do it anymore. It's weird, but I just don't. Even though I had very, very positive experiences with it, I just don't want to do it again. Ever again. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't really bother me. If you're wondering, I waited about 2 months or so to do my second trip. But dextromorphin is something I did one time and will never touch again. When I had in high school, I was a bit of a fiend and I went to the Walmart to get cough syrup of the shelf, Delsim Orange. I did it with 3 other friends and it fucked all of us up. We couldn't walk right, like it felt as if our legs were lagging behind our brain by a couple seconds. Eventually I threw up like 4 times, don't remember if they did, but I did. The euphoria was weak as fuck and the trip was really weird. I was given fentanyl in a hospital setting for a lung procedure. They make you black out and go into your lung. I never had a bad experience, but I can see why people get addicted to it. I was euphoric and somebody let me go shopping. I bought all these blue dress shirts that didn't fit. Like $100,000 worth. I felt like I was on cloud 9 for hours. LSD. It's an incredible drug for many people, but unfortunately, I had a bad time. Some parts, however, were very fun and memorable. However, due to the amount of anxiety I felt, there's no way I'm dropping acid ever again. To quote Alan Watts, when you get the message, hang up the phone. Meth. Made the mistake of looking in a mirror. Tried to pull my teeth out. Peyote. Only bad trip I ever had. I felt like I had ingested something that wasn't meant for me, being a white guy. Kept seeing people hiding just out of sight. When I would turn to look at them, they would duck back around a corner or couch. See people crawling through windows out of the corner of my eye. I felt like Native American spirits were there to fuck with me and punish me for eating Thier's sacred plant. Felt wrong the whole time. Never had any issues with any other psychedelic, even under the most stressful situations, but for some reason peyote got me all wrong. Once I made a space cake with 2 of my friends, but not with weed, with something called shit in France. It's like some resin made of weed. We put too much of this product in it. Really. 20 minutes after having eaten the cake, we started to laugh, and it was really fun, of course. 1 hour after it was the total chaos. I started to hear like 10 voices in my head, and I didn't understand anymore the concept of the smartphone and internet in general. I thought that I was in the future, in the past and in the present at the same time, and that I knew everything. Like mathematics was created by men, so I know everything. It's so simple. I was thinking too much, and in one moment of lucidity, I thought that if this state continued after that evening, I would end my life because it was too much to handle. Not a really great time. So yeah, never again. Thank you for watching this video to the end. In the comments below the video, you can write after taking which drug you thought. Well, no more, no when. And also be sure to subscribe to our channel to not miss new super interesting videos, and I advise you to watch our other videos.